We are currently experiencing the emerging of the divine feminine as the toxic masculine is being ushered out. We can see it in all of the temper tantrums, all of the executive orders, all of the social media men saying things like your body, my choice. We can see it revealing itself in such an ugly way as it is dying. And it is ushering in the divine feminine, which will, of course, assist in the divine masculine coming in. But there are steps that we need to take, there are ways of being that we need to embody to assist these things in coming in. And what is the divine feminine? I feel like we have all experienced a female type person who was fair and balanced and nurturing and kind and creative and intuitive and had a very unique and beautiful energy about them. For me, it was my best friend's mother, who was brave and kind and very intuitive and extremely creative and very, very loving. She always knew what I needed and wanted before I did, and would often say, I'm your mother, I got it. A good example of that is the feminine leader Malala, who in her country was shot in the head because she refused to stop educating girls. And while she was laying there after being shot, she didn't retaliate because she knew she would turn into the very thing that she hated. And now she goes around the world speaking to people about the importance of educating girls and women. The definition of divine feminine is an archetypal energy embodying perceived feminine qualities such as intuition, grace, nurturing, creativity, compassion, and strength. So things like the moon is equated to being female or feminine. Mother Earth is equated to being female or feminine. And I think the moon is because of the phases of the moon and because the moon controls water, and often women have their menstrual cycles according to the phases of the moon because it changes the gravitational pull, so it controls water. The earth is considered to be female because it is nurturing, it's supplying us everything that we need with food and water and shelter. So there are certain things that are considered to be feminine, and it is because they are nurturing and giving things. What you can do to usher in all of these beautiful divine feminine attributes is you can examine the feminine parts of yourself that you were told to deny, or that you were told were not feminine. I was told, for example, not to be an archaeologist because women didn't look at rocks. Women didn't dig up dinosaur bones. Women weren't curious to understand our origins. And so I was discouraged from my natural curiosity of where did we come from. Crystals are living things and they can decide to disappear. They all hold different memories. They can hold different types of intentions as well. which I later found out that was probably the main reason I was interested in such a thing. But you can go through all of the ways you were told to deny the parts of yourself that you were told were not feminine. And this includes men as well. I met a lovely person over the weekend who was told to deny the feminine aspects of themselves, and they are now healing all of that and teaching other men how to do that, which is beautiful and powerful and profound. But if you can examine all of that and start to explore it all, it will begin to heal all of that in your own body, thereby healing other people by giving them permission to do the same thing. Another thing that you can do is find a role model, find a good representation of a divine masculine person. The woman that I mentioned before, Malala, she's an excellent role model of that. There are tons of other women who are excellent role models. And if you feel like there's something that is hidden from yourself, you can find these other women that you admire and aspire to emulate aspects of. And you can ask them questions. Or you can look to someone like Malala, who is still alive and has written many books and is a fantastic example of that. You can discover how your divine feminine wants to be expressed. There are so many ways to express divine femininity. I have an amazing stretching person who is at the gym. She teaches stretch class, and she's very well versed in lifting heavy weights and Pilates, but when she looks at you in her stretch class and places her hand on you, it is almost as if she knows what's going on in your body and that you just need a helping hand to move in the direction of the stretch. And for me, it is a lovely way that she expresses her divine femininity in silence by just going around and gazing on all of us and assisting us to move deeper into our bodies. There are people that are doulas. There are people that are healers. There are people that are gardeners. I feel like there's nothing more feminine and nurturing than growing food in the earth and giving it to people to ingest. It is absolutely so beautiful. But to discover those aspects of you that want to be expressed is huge, because here again, subconsciously, you give other people the permission to do the same thing. And when they're in your presence, they are receiving the energy that you are putting off by being happy and content being yourself. Find people to discuss your ideas with. I did that as well over the weekend, where we talked about we can see the last vestiges of the toxic masculinity, like clawing its way to try to be back in power, because it can feel the ushering in of all of these beautiful, divine, feminine ways of being. And it was lovely to talk to so many open-minded people who were men, who were people of color, who were all different types of people, and that no one got offended, that everybody was able to show up with an open mind and just be really present. That is so important, to discuss your ideas so that they don't remain ideas, and that you can come together with people and organize to make things happen. The divine feminine is in so many things, in TV shows and books, in meditations, in so many things. And in fact, one of my favorite books that embodies the divine feminine through archetypes is by Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, The Women Who Run with Wolves. I believe she is a Jungian psychology, and Jungian psychology is slightly different than Freudian psychology, where it basically deals with archetypes and it gets in pretty deep to the subconscious. But that is one of my favorite books on the divine feminine. And if you guys would like to have a discussion on this topic, there's so much more that we could talk about. We could talk about the balanced feminine, toxic femininity, and the evolving feminine, which I feel like is where I am giving myself permission to explore all of these parts of me that people said, well, that's not very feminine, or you can't do that. And allowing my whole self to come together and to integrate, and to allow the whole me to be grounded and rooted and share with more people, so that we're building like a little connective energy grid of whole, balanced, feminine people. I believe the world really needs that right now. So comment below if that's something that you would like to do, and we will figure out the time to do that, because it is so needed. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I so look forward to this conversation in particular, because I am evolving in it as well, and I love having a group that I can talk to about all of this and share ideas. So see you soon. Bye for now.